Lyle coming in from the winner's side of the bracket. He has taken down with trainers that have been former world champions, former regional winners. Let's not even get started on his day 1 opponents. The day 2 was very impressive in and of itself. Arroh, on the other hand, has actually had to come through the only 1 round of losers. He had a very similar journey, going through a lot of very tough trainers in the winner's side, only dipped to losers for 1 round, and now he's right back here in the Grand Champion.
That's right, and looking at these teams just a little bit more, I think Lyle has all 4 of the 4 most used Pokemon in Malamar, Azumarill, Drapion, Toxapex, and then he's also got the Dugong and Kanto Marowak as his kind of, more spicy picks, let's say. And then, of course, Arroh, we just saw this team. We've been seeing it throughout the day. It's been talked about a lot by players and casters alike. So unconventional there. I actually like the Guzzlord pick a lot, but again, it's the Registeel that has really come to shine on day 2 here.
The one thing that's missing from Lyle's team is grass coverage. I don't think there's any Pokemon that he has whatsoever that can hit for the, grass type attacks. So that Shadow Quagsire from Arroh looks very, very daunting right away. We did see him bring it in the earlier series. But guys, this is it. Whether you're here at the event or watching along on the streams, make sure you bring your energy. It is the grand finals here at the Louisville Regional. It's 2025, Lyle versus Arroh.
Well, it's been Registeel as the story of the day for Arroh, and he's got a great lead with it here. Brings it into the Dugong, and Lyle actually staying in. He does throw this super effective drill run, but you have to wonder, is he just going to play this entire matchup out and take these super effective Zap Cannons?
Okay, well, we talked about this combo between the Registeel and the Shadow Quagsire. The Shadow Quagsire looks unchecked in the back, so it wouldn't even surprise me if we eventually see Lyle trying to swap out of this matchup. You do not want to take one of these super effective Zap Cannons, but you do hang on. I'm curious how you're going to be taking out this Shadow Quagsire now that this Dugong has been mostly neutralized.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for a drill run here, maybe trying to chunk away at this Registeel. Actually, 2 drill runs look like they come pretty close to KOing, but just like you said, that Shadow Quagsire in the back is looking very, very threatening. That being said, it doesn't actually have, oh my goodness, and a simultaneous topple. This is really good for Lyle, actually.
This is great for Lyle.
Yeah, this is exactly what he needed. He has the Shadow Marowak onto the Quagsire. Yes, those Aqua Tails are super effective, but look at how much these Mudslaps are doing.
Okay, let's not forget the charge attack that Registeel has stored on the side of Arroh, but you're going to be able to do a lot of fast attack pressure and even probably potentially pressure a shield here. No, Arroh able to get to the second charge attack and only 4 mud shots. I'm not sure that 1 is quite enough to knock out, but it's going to be very close. Lyle doesn't want to risk it, immediately puts up that second protect shield. He's going to be able to fire off 2 Bone Clubs now before this Quagsire is able to reach its 3rd charge attack, and with that, should be able to stall the switch clock long enough that he can swap out of this matchup eventually, should he want to.
All right, but I think Arrow's actually just letting that Bone Club go and going to let the Quagsire go as well. 1 more Mud Slap does do it, but he still has 2 shields left for this Galarian Moltres. 0 shields on the side of Lyle, and we know that Brave Bird hits like a truck on whatever it is, even if it's that bulky Toxapex in the back. This is actually a Bone Club bait, though, from Lyle.
Yeah, and you're not able to knock out with an Ancient Power at this range either. You need to land a Brave Bird, so that puts Arroh in a little bit of a difficult position. Certainly, he can overfarm and continue to get those Sucker Punch damage through onto this Marowak. He may even go for the full farm down, but no bait this time. Lyle throws the Rock Slide. It gets shielded. Protect shields are down. You now have your Toxapex coming in, but the Zap Cannon is loaded, and Registeel combo play. Arrow's going to do a significant chunk here into this Toxapex.
Oh, and this is great for Arroh because otherwise this Toxapex would have been a huge pain to take out. But now the good thing for Lyle, though, is I think he might try to go for a full Poison Jab down, but it's going to be very close. I'm not sure if Registeel is going to be able to reach a Zap Cannon first. If not, Lyle's going to have to throw a Brine.
He gets to the Focus Blast. That's all due to the attack drop, a 33% chance. Lyle unable to get the full farm down. And even if he did, the Ancient Power, I believe, is actually loaded as well. His switch clock is not up, so this Galarian Moltres will be able to land the Ancient Power here. Charge attack priority. Galarian Moltres still plenty healthy. I don't think that Lyle has any energy on his Dugong as well. I think that the Marowak is energy dry. I think you're just going to be able to Sucker Punch everything down here, so.
It's looking good for Arroh. I think the Dugong, yeah, it's a couple of Ice Shards away. Doesn't quite get to the Icy Wind, and I think that's going to be a nice game 1 from Arroh. Look at this Galarian Moltres just pulling through.
Arroh only able to take 1 game off Lyle in the best of 5 series earlier, but now in game number 1 in the grand finals, able to take the first game, and the momentum is on his side at this point. We mentioned just how strong that Shadow Quagsire was. Arroh able to get both Protect Shields when it was faced off versus the Marowak. I think that Lyle even had a little bit of luck on his side with Arrow bringing in that Quagsire. It allowed him to bring in his Marowak, which has better play into it compared to his Toxapex, but still a very, very tough spot there for Lyle, and he was, unfortunately for him, unable to execute.
Yeah, a couple of different win conditions for Arroh there. Yes, he could have gotten switch advantage like you mentioned, but instead he had a Pokemon in the back strong enough to kind of deal with anything. And he also had a Zap Cannon banked as well, which came in very, very clutch at the end.
Dugong is a must-bring in my opinion, but I think that Lyle needs to go back to the spamminess of that Shadow Drapion. I think that it is just a Pokemon with how quickly it can unleash charge attacks. It's going to be able to hit for neutral versus pretty much everything, whether it's the Quagsire, whether it's going to be that Registeel, even the Galarian Moltres, it can spam out those Aqua Tails. So I would like to see Lyle bringing that for game number 2.
I do like the Drapion. There is a ground type, of course, on Arrow's team in that Quagsire, but at least it's not a Mud Slapper. Oh, but this is another terrible
He predicted it!
Lyle. Guzzlord into Drapion for Arrow. Looks like Lyle did one Poison Sting and swapped into his own Dugong, met by the Typhlosion on Arrow's side, so you are a little bit ahead on energy as Lyle, but not ahead enough for this Thunder Punch for you to outpace to the Thunder Punch.
Arrow is absolutely one step ahead of Lyle here, predicted the Shadow Drapion, brought the Guzzlord, which resists all of the charge attacks. The Dugong Safe Swap looks very strong, but he brings one of his best answers, that being the Typhlosion, which resists these Ice Shards here. One Protect Shield has been used by Lyle already. Arrow willing to match those Protect Shields as well.
All right, and an Icy Wind bait from Lyle here. Again, that's the same energy as Drogon, but you do get the debuff. Actually going straight for another Icy Wind here, and Arrow going to put up both Protect Shields on this Typhlosion.
It wouldn't surprise me if Arrow, after winning this matchup, potentially actually exits the matchup as well. I know that he wants to have that Guzzlord onto the Shadow Drapion, but he has a second good answer to the Drapion as well with that Shadow Quagsire. Running ABA yet again is Arrow.
All right, well, 100 energy on this Typhlosion, going to go down to 60 after using this Thunder Punch to knock out the Dugong. And I think if you're Lyle, I mean, you can't really absorb the energy particularly well on either of these Pokemon. He does have one residual Poison Sting, so probably going to want to shield this up over from just a tiny, tiny bit. Oh, but he is actually just letting this Drapion go all the way.
This is double debuff, so the Drapion's able to hang on, and you are able to now bring in your Toxapex versus the Guzzlord instead of the Drapion. But this is a huge, huge task for this Toxapex to get all the way through not only one, but 2 Pokemon. Yes, you can maybe make your way through this Guzzlord, great, but there is a hard answer waiting in the back in the form of that Shadow Quagsire, so.
All right, is there any way that Lyle can take out the Shadow Quagsire? I mean, is there energy he can get on this Toxapex? I know he has a little bit of energy on the Drapion, but what is it going to take to get rid of the Quagsire?
I think 3 brines, so just 3 brines, that's not so much, right?
Yeah, just 150 energy. I'm sure he can pull that out.
Let's not forget that Typhlosion's roughly about half HP as well, and I think it's going to be able to probably get to another Thunder Punch. So this is looking really, really good for Arrow to translate to a 2-0. We might be seeing a bracket reset on our hands here. Lyle has the potential to reverse sweep, but I think at this point you can probably just mud shot everything down. And yeah, here comes the first brine. Not enough to even take it to 50% HP. Arrow has had all the answers in these first 2 games.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a crunch is going to be enough to take it out. Just like you said, there is still a Typhlosion. There's not really a way for Lyle to get to it. Even if this crunch took out the Quagsire, he would still need a couple of Poison Stings, and I don't think he would even survive one Incinerate.
Yeah, is able to hang on, get a full farm down, has an Aqua Tail ready to go, and you're resisting all these poison jabs, so you just farm down. Lyle did have the Protect Shield, but really I don't think there was any way out of that one. Arrow had close to 100 energy. He needs to figure something out here. I think he attempted a response there, but Arrow was just one step ahead, bringing that Guzzlord as well as his Shadow Quagsire to just completely shut down that Shadow Drapion.
I'm really curious for why Lyle hasn't brought the Azumarill. Like, I understand that you're afraid of the Registeel because you've seen Arrow bring it in every game, but on the other hand, if you look at Arrow's team, like, I mean, it's one of your best responses to Quagsire, frankly. And then, of course, just looking at that team just now, it's Guzzlord without Sludge Bomb, and then Quagsire and Typhlosion. I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying one Azumarill would have swept Arrow, but it would have given you a much, much better chance.
Look, Dugong I think is very strong for Lyle, but I think if Arrow has one response to it, that Shadow Typhlosion is so good. Did he have to go down shields? Yes, but you're able to dictate that alignment and get that Dugong off the field so it frees up the rest of your Pokemon like your Registeel, like your Quagsire. So I just really like the response there by Arrow, and he seems locked in these grand finals.
All right, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We did see in Baltimore a 0-2 situation that Wadaj ended up overcoming in the first reset of the grand finals. So, you know, there's still play for Lyle, but I think, you know, Arrow was saying in the interview, he thinks that Lyle has shown some of his cards, and I feel like Arrow has been, like you said, just kind of one step ahead of Lyle this entire series.
Anything can happen, Soph. And to your point, in that first series, there were some really close games that actually Arrow lost with 2 Protect Shields. So Are there lessons learned that have happened here for Arroh? I want to say yes. But let's find out. We're going to move into our Game 3. Arroh one game away from resetting the bracket in this best-of-5 Grand Finals. Lyle needs to get on the board with a dub here.
All right, this could be a start. This is a decent lead for him. Drapion into Moltres. I think it's actually favorable for Drapion just because you are resisting those sucker punches. But obviously, you will have to start shielding if Arroh throws those Brave Birds.
Yeah, you need to either make a call or just, maybe swap out at some point. This is really a risky play. I could see maybe the potential to bring in the Azumarill just to try and catch some damage. But wow, Arroh going just straight for this Ancient Power. I think that he just wants to lock in some damage here.
Yeah, big call from Lyle sorry, not big call from Lyle, but nice counting from Lyle, letting that go, and he's still able to overfarm. The sucker punches are resisted, so he's able to get to this Aqua Tail and bank another actually without a problem here.
Yeah, I really like the way that this is going for Lyle right now. Arrow is going to use the first Protect Shield on an 8-turn move. Actually swaps into Superior now, so that is a nice catch. I think Lyle was expecting Arrow to stay in and maybe try and get to that next charge attack, so this is a nice catch. But you have the Dugong ready to go here, but what this does set up now is Registeel could get realigned versus that Azumarill, and without Hydro Pump, there's really no way to fight back, so I like what Arrow's doing here.
Yeah, Lyle does still have 2 shields and a little bit of health on the Drapion. Not sure how many lock-ons it's going to take to get rid of that Drapion, so definitely still some play for Lyle, but he has to be aware that, I'm sure he was aware when he locked in this team just how weak it was to Registeel, and I think that was a Leaf Tornado debuff there, Jim.
Well, I can see by the fist pump that it was indeed a double debuff to the attack. That is devastating, and now allows the Superior to no problem hang on versus that Ice Shard, and actually get to this next Frenzy Plant as well. The Leaf Tornado would not be enough to knock out, and LyleJeff knows that. Protects shields his Dugong. I would like to actually see Lyle swap out of this matchup once he's able to farm down the Superior.
Yeah, he is very debuffed. His switch clock is coming up, but now Lyle sees the Registeel probably maybe trying to build up some energy and then switch. Oh, but he actually just throws the Joel Run right away. Even though I think he's still debuffed from the Leaf Tornado. Arrow is letting it go. This is super effective damage coming through, but doesn't do very much damage.
Maybe just wants to get 2 drill runs off. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I guess we can call this a catch here. You do need to get this Drapion off the field. You're not really able to Sucker Punch or lock on it down, so this is a good solution to getting a very spammy Pokemon off the field. You have a very good matchup for this Azumarill. Lyle shoots down. He's trying to think, okay, well, how am I going to get rid of this Registeel? And here comes Arrow, has the Ancient Power loaded. This is not quite enough to knock out, but I think he may be able to Sucker Punch down after this if Lyle doesn't throw his energy.
Yeah, this is looking bad for Lyle. I think what he, was maybe, I would try to hope for is that he can somehow Ice Shard down, double Joel Run the Registeel, but obviously there's way too low health for that to happen. You do still have a full health Azumarill in the back, which can take a Zap Cannon from Registeel, but look at these lock-ons. They're chipping away so quickly. Lyle's barely able to get off this last charge attack, but it's just an Icy Wind, and Arrow's even just letting it go.
So what this does now is it locks in a debuff on this Registeel, where it is going to be permanently single-stage attack debuff for the remainder of this match. But look at the energy delta here. Look at the shield differences as well. This is still Arrow's game. I think you're going to need to land 3 charge attack as Lyle's. You're primarily going to be... This does not quite knock out, but I think that maybe after the lock-ons, the second Zap Cannon will be very close to KO.
Yeah, I think you're right. And as Lyle, yes, the bubbles are adding up, but you only have resisted charge attacks. I don't know, again, we saw that for Zap Cannon. It did less than half of the HP of the Azumarill, but maybe just a couple more lock-ons. And yeah, the Azumarill does faint there.
All right, well, we've got a matchup on our hands here. This is going to be a 3-0 reset. As you can see, Arrow absolutely ecstatic here. He is now an even playing field with Lyle. Looks like that they are talking to the judges at this point here, but assuming that it stands, what that means is that would be a 3-0 victory for Arrow. Momentum on his side. That would be resetting our bracket. So again, it's going to be a fresh best-of-5 here, and Lyle has not been able to take a game off Arrow in these grand finals.
That's right. It's a clean slate in terms of, whoever wins the series just wins the tournament outright then and there. Again, looking at the series between these two players, right? This is going to be the 3rd series that they've played. Again, Lyle won that first best-of-5 in winners finals 3-1. Arrow just swept Lyle 3-0. So, if you add it all up, it's 4-3 in Arrow's favor. But, a fresh start for both players. So hopefully, Lyle can kind of just put that series behind him, try to not let it affect him too much, and maybe think up some new lines.
Great plays and great team building by Arrow, able to catch that resisted Aqua Tail on a Superior, and that also baited out the Dugong. A little bit of luck on his side as well, as he was able to get that Leaf Tornado debuff. That set up a double debuffed drill run into the Registeel, and Registeel, like we mentioned, when shields are down, it can be that closer. You mentioned how many zero shield matchups that it wins. Well, it certainly wins versus Azumarill, debuff or not, able to farm down and reset the series there. So look, I think think on paper, Arroh has the stronger team. I think that there are two Pokemon that Lyle just doesn't have great answers for. It's going to be that Shadow Quagsire, and it's going to be that Registeel. How does he adapt? We're not waiting around. It's the grand finals reset. Let's move into it. It's 0-0 clean slate. Shadow Drapion into the Superior.
A tough lead for Arroh, but he does switch out straight away into Registeel. Not a great answer on Lyle's side, but maybe Drapion is the answer here. You're not really threatened by these lock-ons. You get to these moves incredibly quickly, and maybe you're just happy to stay in here.
Okay, well, I like that he actually brings this Malamar now, because even if you take this charge attack, I mean, maybe if there's a debuff, that's going to make things more challenging, but I think that you might be able to get to a superpower before, yeah, you should be able to get to a superpower before you're able to reach this next charge attack, and no debuff luck this time for Arroh. Superpower is loaded. I think that Lyle's going to be over farming as much as possible. This could be a good shield from Arroh, but decides to let it go instead. Lyle really wants to have the switch alignment. He does not want to have his Dugong up against that Superior, especially at an energy disadvantage.
All right, well, actually that superpower doesn't do quite enough damage, so Arrow's able to reach this focus blast, and Lyle's actually going to let the Malamar go. It's done its job. It's chipped Registeel, which is, you know, kind of the first step to getting rid of it, and now you have an option for how you want to farm down. He actually farms down with the Dugong, and I
love this.
I love this because, look, if the Superior comes back, you have super effective damage ready to go.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is almost what I thought Arrow was going to want to do, is a soft lose and then get energy on a Superior. Instead, Lyle does the exact same thing himself, and now he has this Icy Wind ready to go. Arrow could just go for one of those cheeky Leaf Tornadoes. We've seen him throwing those very regularly and getting a little luck on his side, but the thing we have to keep an eye on is going to be that Quagsire versus Drapion matchup in the late game.
All right, well, I think this was actually a Frenzy Plant, so Lyle's going to have to decide if he... Oh, he actually lets it go.
Oh, that's going to be a ton of damage into the Dugong. Maybe expecting the Leaf Tornado. Needs to throw a charge attack here before Arrow is able to get to the next charge attack. It is so low, though, you're not going to be able to reach another charge attack, and this is going to be setting up the Shadow Drapion into the Shadow Quagsire. Drapion might have a little bit of energy. You need to swap out right away. Yes, just a 1 Poison Sting advantage, but this is in the favor currently of the Quagsire.
All right, 2 shields up on both sides, so Arrow's going to just see how many mud shots he can get in. Lyle's going to throw off a crunch right here. Maybe afterwards, if you get the debuff, you might be able to go straight Aqua Tail, especially as the Poison Stings start to add up.
Okay, I think that this Dugong has enough HP that it will be able to get off 1 Ice Shard late in the game, but look how much damage and let's not forget, the Mud Shot damage got increased as we moved into this new season. Despite the energy generation nerf, it is doing more damage now, so this is certainly in the favor of Arrow in this 2-shield matchup.
Well, Lyle does still have the catch option, and with just how many charge attacks are being thrown right now, it is possible that the switch timer will come up, but Aqua Tail coming through here, and Lyle's using his last shield. He does still have maybe 1 more shield in the form of that Dugong.
I think he's only 1 or 2 moves away from getting to this next Aqua Tail. This is going to get the final Protect Shield from Arrow. He's going to overfarm as much as possible. Arrow is only 1 move away. I think he actually has the Aqua Tail loaded. This is the moment right here. Will Lyle be able to pull off a miracle and catch this Aqua Tail? We're going to find out right now. Oh, and he gets the catch! What an amazing play from Lyle. He needed this one here in order to have any chance versus Arrow. It's not over yet. I think he's 1 away from the Aqua Tail. He hangs on versus the move, and he's able to reach it. What a miracle for Lyle.
What a save there with that catch. It was so scary. Like you said, this is the moment when Lyle might reach for the swap, but he did 1 more fast attack. Arrow, you know, maybe panicking a little bit, just threw that attack, and Lyle was able to come back from a terrible situation.
Soap had to catch me there. I almost fell out of my chair watching that. What an impressive play from Lyle. Look, he had good alignment in the lead, and he actually got a great farm down with that Dugong, but once Arrow landed that Frenzy Plant with his Superior and put his back up against a wall, Shadow Drapion versus that Shadow Quagsire, a terrible matchup. He had to make that catch. Soap spoke it into existence, and it happened. These trainers are waiting it all. We're moving into game number 2 of the grand finals. Lyle currently up 1-0.
All right, and this Drapion is putting on a show for Lyle. Another fantastic lead, gets it into the Superior, and Arrow again bringing the Registeel, but now Lyle has the Marowak.
He has the Marowak. He brought the answer. He is 1 step ahead of Arrow here. You can tank this Focus Blast, no problem. This is going to set up a great farm opportunity for Lyle. He should be able to land the Bone Club, then farm down, and even have a Rock Slide ready to go for that Superior. But yet again, that Quagsire does look strong. but Lyle, he has the Dugong ready to go this time. Things are looking great for LyleJeffs right now.
The momentum has completely shifted. We saw Arroh just dominate that first best of 3. You know, maybe Lyle is just testing things out. Now he's got the strategies ready to go. Here comes the Superior. I think you just want to throw these rock slides. Well, just one rock slide in this case, but you're going to be able to align your Drapion onto this. Yes, the Dugong does have to fear super effective Stone Edge from Quagsire, but I think, you know, Ice Shards and Icy Winds add up very, very quickly.
In the absence of Sludge Bomb, it is nice to get that chip damage, so now you're putting it closer to... Okay, and this is great. You're bringing the Dugong in, which is going to be one of your best answers. Able to hit neutral with your Ice Shards. Needs to watch out for the Stone Edge for sure, but you can slowly Icy Wind this Pokemon and make it a little bit less threatening as the matchup goes on.
Aqua Tail bait coming through here. I mean, maybe Arrow knows that Dugong players just first attack, and a huge call by Lyle. 35 energy just down the drain here. Goes for the Icy Wind, and it's just looking even better for Lyle.
What a tale of two series here. We saw Arrow in firm control, a 3-0 bracket reset. Lyle has all the momentum in his favor now, not only in that game 1, but also moving that into game number 2 here. Will be shielding up in Aqua Tail now, needs to make sure that he gets this Quagsire off the field, but he is in firm control here in this game 2.
All right, Arrow does successfully bait with another Aqua Tail. He still has 2 shields on his side, but look at how much these Ice Shards are adding up. He's at very, very low health here. Still needs to land a Stone Edge to take out this Dugong. He also does have a Superior though, actually reaching for a Frenzy, but a huge fast reaction time from Lyle to bring in the Drapion.
Arrow trying to catch Lyle in the middle of a fast attack there, but Lyle able to respond and catch this Frenzy Plant. That's still a significant chunk of damage, but you've got a nice energy lead here. Even shields, you really just want to be in a situation where you don't get that Quagsire too much farm, that you're able to reach a charge attack. I think Lyle actually has energy on his Dugong as well, so simply just needs to get the Superior off the field, and I think he should be able to clean up with that Dugong.
All right, Leaf Tornado here. Not sure if it's going to save Arrow, even if he does get the attack drop, but he does actually pull the shields from Lyle, and Lyle is tapping very, very hard. They're trying to get these Poison Stings in. I think I did see the attack drop come through, but Lyle's just going to go ahead and throw this Crunch very calmly. No shields remaining on Arrow's side, and like you said, I think there's also some energy remaining on the Dugong.
Yeah, and Switch Clocks are coming up very quickly as well. Stone Edge is ready to go. I think Aqua Tail may have been enough to knock out there. I think Lyle actually has some energy on his Dugong as well. Throwing this Stone Edge basically means that this matchup is over because down goes the Drapion, but a little bit of energy lead especially, will be able to get to this Icy Wind and knock out the Quagsire here. Game number 2 going to LyleJeffs. He is 1 win away from becoming a 3-time regional champion.
Actually, not sure if that game was over. I don't know if the Aqua Tail from Quagsire takes out the Drapion there, but if it does, looks to me like Arrow actually would have reached the Stone Edge against the Dugong because he had the Aqua Tail at the end.
So I'll call it for what it is. I think that you should have thrown the Aqua Tail there. I would have liked to have seen it. I think even if it wasn't a guaranteed win, I think that it would at least open the door for a win condition, whereas throwing that Stone Edge, like I said, it was the nail in the coffin at that time where there's no way to win because you have 0 energy.
Well, he might have been thinking that Lyle was going to switch in the Dugong, right? That maybe was a win condition for him there, but...
He'd already caught 2 moves.
That's true. Well, Arrow's got to pull it together here. He has won 3 games in a row against Lyle before, so it is possible. Absolutely never count out Arrow.
Like you said, he just won 3 straight games. Now he needs to do it again. Lyle does have 3 opportunities. Even if he loses this next game, he still has 2 more opportunities. I love the way that he built his team there. He again predicted that Superior. He had the answer to Registeel there with the Marowak. He had the answer to the Quagsire with the Dugong. Everything that Arrow has been leaning on, Lyle was able to find, not only bring the Pokemon, but find the alignment that he needed as well.
All right, well, here it comes, Wholesome. This could be it. We've got Guzzlord on the field for Arrow. It's actually a good lead for him. He finds the Drapion.
Okay, well, this is exactly what Arrow needed to come back in this series. Lyle going to be swapping out of this matchup relatively quick. Throws 1 Poison Sting and then swaps in his Dugong. This is going to bring out the Registeel. Okay, well, things are not looking good for Lyle right now. We have seen him turn this matchup in the past, but I don't know that Arrow's going to be willing to let him do that here.
Well, it might come down to whether Arrow can get a Zap Cannon debuff. Otherwise, the Drill Runs actually threaten Registeel quite a bit. You see 1 Drill Run coming in, and Registeel almost at 50% health there, just about to enter the yellow health, and here comes the Zap Cannon. It is super effective, but it's not enough to knock out, and Registeel, as we know, has absolutely minimal fast attack pressure.
Here comes the Zap Cannon. Will we see the debuff? Will we see it? No, not this time. All right, Lyle is able to get to this next Drill Run, but I still think that Arrow is in control here. I think if he wants to 2-shield his way through this matchup, he can lock on down. This is going to be close here. I think that Arrow does reach the next charge attack. I wonder, in a battle of fast attack pressure, do resisted Ice Shards actually do more damage than these lock-on soap?
Nature just feels so wasteful to throw the energy here. I think Arrohh had a couple options. I mean, maybe he could have thought about double shielding Guzzlord, but it actually looks like Lyle wants to preserve switch advantage. He has the Marowak in the back, definitely does not want it lined up against his Superior.
He gets the full farm down.
And he does get it. He has a charge attack ready. And
Okay.
it's gonna be super effective.
You gotta throw the move this time. Make sure, okay, don't pull the nighttime clasher and not throw your charge attack. Lyle actually throwing the move here. You love to see that here. No mistakes here in these grand finals. Immediately gets the debuff into the Superior, and now you have a much more preferential alignment. Rather than having that Superior lined up versus your Bone Club, or sorry, versus your Marowak, you actually get your Marowak versus the Guzzlord instead.
All right, well, it's not over. Arrohh still has 2 shields. Guzzlord puts on a lot of fast attack pressure. Yes, there is still a full health Drapion in the back, but you are still chunking away at this Marowak. Looks like you're just going for the full Dragon Tail down here. Still has a shield.
And you know what? We actually saw how much damage those Frenzy Plants do into the Shadow Drapion. It does roughly half. It's just such an efficient move. But here we go. Gets to the Bone Club. This is huge for Lyle.
All right, this is huge, pulling the last shield, and Crunch is going to be resisted from Drapion, but maybe a Crunch plus a bunch of Poison Stings are going to be enough?
You have a little bit of energy. You have 2 Dragon Claws loaded and ready to go. One is not going to knock out. You can certainly let it go as Lyle. I think that you're 1 away or maybe 2 away from that next crunch, but you're going to need to get some energy as Lyle on this Drapion.
All right, first Dragon Claw lands. Actually doesn't go for timing there, just wants to get off the damage from this Dragon Claw. And I mean, I don't even know if you switch out here because yes, maybe you want to, okay, he does switch out into the Superior. He has just, I think, 1 fine whip there, and Crunch coming through. I don't think this is enough to take out Wholesome.
Yeah, but I like throwing the crunch as soon as possible because maybe you get the opportunity for that attack debuff where you can Poison Sting down. I think you're going to need 3 Poison Stings here. 1, 2, oh, you get the defense drop and actually get the full farm down. This Drapion has an energy advantage. It's able to get to the crunch. That's all you're going to need as LyleJeff. Crunch, despite being resisted, will come through after the 3-0 sweep from Arrohh. Lyle does it himself, and he gets the 3-0 victory versus Arrohh. He is your 2025 Louisville Regional Champion.